Hello, all you lovely beings of creation, and welcome back to my page. It is officially January 14th, and I told myself that I was going to start reading Under the Dome by Stephen King. That has yet to happen, but I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. I was going to give myself 1 week because I was like, well, give myself a rest week to prepare, and then I'll get started the second week of January. Boom, I've been sick. Now it is the 14th. I'm still currently sick, but I feel good enough to actually do the things. I've been trying to be active. I just got done working out. I'm incredibly tired, but I'm here, and now I'm gonna do the thing. So today I'm gonna get started on Under the Dome. Before, I was pretty confident that I could get this done in a couple of days because it's 1,000 or so pages. I think it's almost 2,000 pages if I remember correctly. And if I was trying to read all day, every day, I think I could try to get it done, but I don't know how that's gonna play out just because we had a lot going on and I still don't feel the best right now. Full discrepancy, I did in fact get sick again, so it took me another week or so before I felt fine enough to actually read. So I only read about 2 chapters before I tapped out, took a break, and then came back to it. Okay, back to our scheduled programming. Thank you! Originally, I was going to make this video, I read Stephen King in a week. Now I'm just going to see how long it takes me to read it. 1,070 something pages. I'm going to try to read for at least 1 to 2 hours a day, just because I know that when I get into a book, I really get into a book and I want to dedicate some time to that book. But if I can't, I'm going to stick to at least 3 chapters a day at the minimum. So 3 chapters a day, but hopefully 2 hours a day. All right, let's get started. We're going to use a timer to see how long it actually takes me to read this book. So I'm going to use this every time that I even think about reading. Okay, I need a break. So it's the next day. I had to stop reading yesterday because I only read for like 17 minutes. It was like 16 and some change. And I just had to stop because I was like, is this really how we're starting the book? It was it was gory, it was vivid, there was a lot happening and a lot of random characters. A woodchuck? We got the point of view of a woodchuck, and it's like, so much happened, and I needed a mental break before I continued, so now this is me continuing. So, enjoy. It even sounds like snow. Oh, it sounds like the heavy, quiet snow.
Very powdery.
It is very powdery. I'm in my pants and a shirt, but oh my gosh, it's snowing. Oh. I know I'm probably crazy for walking in the snow without a jacket, but I had to. I was too excited. Oh my gosh, and it's so pretty. Oh, I bet it's gonna look good in the morning. wanted to do a book update really fast because I'm a little over 100 pages in right now, and we are still on day 1 of the dome appearing. It is now nighttime. I have witnessed a schmurder. I have witnessed gore, a woodchuck's point of view, like 5 other people's different point of view, and then how everybody connects to each other. 100 pages, and I'm still on day 1/night 1. Everything that has happened so far throughout the day is kind of crazy. We had some old man's pacemaker blow up. We had the iconic plane crash. And as someone who watched like the first few episodes of the actual show, some things were similar, but everything is vastly different so far. So I'm curious, for 1,000 pages, what is the pacing? Are we going to skip over some things? Are we going to speed up some things? Because one of the main characters, I'm calling him a main character right now because we keep going back to his point of view, and to me, he's one of like the main 3, I think. I know this is going to be like the whole town's point of view, at least that's my guess, but we keep coming back to this guy's point of view. They call him Barbie. It's not his name, but his name sounds close enough to Barbie that they call him Barbie. And originally he was leaving the town, and then events happened and he couldn't leave the town. So he's back and he's talking to one of the waitresses / owners of this small town diner, and he's already estimating how long they can keep her propane going for. And she's shocked. She's like, 4 weeks? You think we're gonna be here a month? And he's like, I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but we need to start conserving stuff now. He's one of the first people we see starting to want to prepare for what is to come. We've already had government officials come to the scene. There's news people around the scene. So everybody knows that this dome is here. I'm pretty sure in the show, nobody could hear anybody outside of the dome. But in the book, he's having a full-blown conversation as he's walking the perimeter of the dome with this other man. So the scene in the show where the military guy holds up the sign or is like trying to tell the guy on the other side that this is not what it seems. I don't know how that's going to happen in the book. I don't know if that does happen in the book. So I'm curious if anybody on the outside is going to try to help them, because the news is reporting nobody knows where this dome is from. Homeland Security doesn't know where this dome is from. Like, nobody knows. Compared from the show to the book, the dome itself even acts different when you get near. So when I said that we saw a guy's pacemaker blow up, because he reached out to touch the dome. So when you try to touch the dome, something weird and electrical happens to where you're zapped. So I'm curious. I didn't watch any more into the show, like, past that. I think I made it to the point where the 2 farmers, the brother and sister duo, and he was like, the cow, and she goes, no, that is my cow, that you can't take my cow. That's as far as I remember into the show. And what I remember, because this was so long ago, what I remember is they could touch the dome, like they were pushing paper up against the edge of the dome going, what is happening on the outside? So I love the fact that this dome in this book, compared to the show, like I know they're going to be different, but compared to the show, how aggressive this structure is. I have a theory that it's linked to the government, but the government's not going to tell other people, but it's Stephen King, so it could be anything. I don't want to say this is slow paced because so much has happened, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to witness a second schmurder. That's how this chapter just ended, but everything is so wild right now. It is literally insane. And Stephen King, what is going on in your mind? I mean, it's a glorious, interesting mind. What the So I just wanted to update you guys, wanted to let you know what's been going on so far. And I will catch back up to you guys the next time I have something interesting to tell you. Okay, bye! It is currently 8 o'clock at night, and it is almost the end of January, and I told myself that I was going to read this book before the end of January. I don't know if I'm actually going to succeed because I did not plan on getting sick for almost all of January, because once I got better, I was excited to start reading again, and I read a little bit more, but then I got sick again, and I'm only just now feeling good enough to really read. This is where I currently am. I have all of this to finish in 3 days. So now you and I are on this journey together to see if I can get this done before the end of January. Whether or not this will be posted before the end of January, probably not. But getting the book read by the end of this month in 3 days, we will see. I'm going to continue reading. I hope you have enjoyed the vlog so far, because now this has been an entire month. I plan to read this, and hopefully I was planning to read this in a week. And at max, I've read for maybe 2 or 3 days. So for 3 more, that's 6 days. So hopefully it's still a week. It's just not consecutive like I was hoping it was going to be. We're getting there though. So come with me and let's try to finish this book. Because now we're in this together. And now I can't do this without you guys. Wish me luck. We didn't get him some rollerblades.
If you don't want teaching him, have at it.
I love rollerblades. That was my thing. I don't know how to roller skate, but I can rollerblade. I want to go fast. Keeping you on your toes. Okay, it is currently 1:17 in the morning and I just got done reading. I'm 6, almost 7 hours in total. I read 2 chapters tonight and they're each about 40 pages each, and I made it, I'll show you guys. I made it to page 347. And I'm actually excited because I got to use my reading light for the first time. And it's been so nice. Like, look at that, you guys. It's perfect. And I can change it. I don't really like this one. I like this one the most. But this one's nice if you like a little bit of low lighting. And I can change its brightness. So if you don't have a reading light, I highly recommend getting a reading light because I wasn't necessarily done reading, but I wanted to hang out in my bed. So I am going to attempt to finish the rest of this tomorrow. We will see how that goes because I feel like I haven't made a dent yet. Oh, my partner's there. I feel like I haven't really made a dent yet in this book, and we're still only on like day 3. Day 4, I think we're officially on day 4 in book time. And so much has happened without a lot happening. All these different points of view. It's actually not as hard to keep up with as I was originally thinking. It's pretty easy. It's kind of like watching the TV show in my head. There's a lot of corruption going on in this small town, isn't there always? So this has just been a wild ride so far. And I think I have at least one character that I cannot stand, who's basically a freaking sociopath. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I would say in the morning, but it's already morning. So I will see you guys tomorrow and attempt to finish this book. Okay, good night. Okay, you guys, it is officially the next day, and it is officially the last day. I know I talked to you guys last night, but I made it to page 347, almost to the middle of the book, but not quite. So I have to finish this by the end of the day if I'm going to meet my goal. It is, in fact, I will not be making this video until January ends, but hopefully I can get the book done. There's murder, there's mystery, I had a mind explosion when I was like, I would have never thought of that, even though it should have been obvious, but I can't believe I didn't think of that. That's been throughout this entire book so far, and it's currently 8:45, so I'm a little bit behind. I wanted to start by 8:30, but I went and got a drink this morning so that I was caffeinated and ready. Not coffee, I don't drink coffee, but I got me a caffeinated drink, and I'm excited. I'm ready to get this done. I'm ready to grind this book out. So come with me and let's try to finish this book together. My goal is to get it done before 12 midnight. Since I know I'm not going to be finishing it before then, unless by some speed reading miracle I finish before 12 at midnight. My goal is to get it done by midnight. I procrastinated a little bit last night, so I only read for about I think I read 2 hours last night. Maybe an hour and a half. But I got 2 chapters done, and each chapter is like 40 pages. It's like a whole scene in a show. It could be a whole show episode, basically. So one chapter gets me almost to 100 pages. So let's get this done. Let's get this book read. Let's get it finished out, and then we can chat about it for a little bit. And I don't know if I'm going to do a book review on this book, but I do kind of want to talk about it in this vlog. But I don't want to give anything away because it's a pretty good book. Okay, let's start reading. Okay, I'm officially a little over 7 hours in, 7 hours and 18 minutes in, and I'm taking a small break just because I just got done with a chapter, and now I have no idea where this book is going. Originally, I had some sort of maybe idea of what the situation is, but after this, there was some foreshadowing that this thing was going on, but now it's happening to more and more people, and they're all starting to say the same thing, which is really weird because yes, this is kind of a small town, but some of these people don't know these other people, and it's like, Why are they saying the exact same thing when this happens? I have no idea what I'm expecting because my original thought process, I feel like, is now completely wrong. When we were introduced to one of the characters and his old boss, I was like, oh, that makes total sense. Yeah, sure, that could definitely be a thing. Now, I'm like, I don't know. What is this thing? What is this device? How is it making this thing happen? How is it making multiple people think and witness the same thing? I don't know. But this is such a good twist. I don't really know if it's a twist, but it's such a good plot point that it was completely unexpected. So I'm going to stretch for a minute, kind of walk around the house for just a second so I can stretch my legs out, and then I'm going to get back to reading. Stop. No. No. All right, you guys, some time has elapsed. It is currently 8:15 and I'm almost 12 hours in reading this book. I have maybe a quarter of the book left, a third of the book left, and I am not sure what I'm reading anymore. I had an idea and now the possibilities are literally otherworldly. I am not sure what to think. And this book is just completely unhinged and insane. We have literal insane characters. The way that this world, that this town has been built, it's literally like watching a TV show in my mind. It's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good. So now we are in the final stretches. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it by midnight. I think I'm about 2 hours behind on how many chapters I have left, just because each chapter takes roughly an hour. I'm actually currently almost done one of the chapters. One of the hours is almost up, but I have like 5 more chapters after this, and that's roughly 5 more hours. Midnight is like 3 hours away, so I'm like 2 hours off. So I don't know if I'll make it by midnight because I'm also about to stop to eat some dinner before I get back into it. I've already had to stop to stretch a few times just to make sure that I'm focusing on what I'm reading. So I'm going to go eat and then I'm going to get back into it and do the final home stretches of this book. If it goes past midnight, then it goes past midnight. But I want to finish it by tonight. That is the goal, is to finish it by tonight. Wish me luck. Let me get the quarter of this book finished and then we will chat and recap. If not tonight, then definitely the next day, or the next day if I'm just sleeping all day tomorrow. We'll find out. All right, let's get it done. Okay, you guys, it is almost 3:30 in the morning. I have read a little over 16 hours in this book, not consecutively, except for this last day. This last day has been consecutive. I don't know if you can see, like right there is all I have left. I have about 100 pages left to read. I was gonna try to push through, but that is not happening. So the 100 pages will have to wait till tomorrow. Alright, you guys. Good night. And we will finish reading tomorrow. So it is officially the next day. I literally just got done reading this book. It is 5:21 and I'm just over 18 hours of reading. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it would take me longer. I'm sad that I didn't meet my own personal goal of getting it done in January because I got sick and didn't feel like reading. And then when I did feel like reading, I only had 3 days. So getting this done in 4 days is honestly not bad. 1,074 pages. The ending, I guess, is on par with Stephen King. I've never read a Stephen King book, so this is my very first Stephen King book. But the ending, I guess, is on par with what I've heard about his endings. I mean, I've seen the movie The Mist, and that was already a messed up ending. I never read the book, but the ending was just... I don't think this ending was near as twisted. The way that everything felt like it just naturally was going to happen this way. There was just such an organic vibe about this ending. I don't know. It was a really good book. I texted my friend when I started this book. I was like, this book is so graphic. And she said, is it as graphic as Attack on Titan or less? And I sat for a minute because it is on par with the Attack on Titan level of graphic and just like gut-wrenching stuff that happens. So for anybody who wants... I kind of wish I saved this book for October. That's like the whole theme of this book. It's happening in October and it's very Halloween-esque. I wish that I would have saved this for October if I would have known. This is such a good horror, spooktober book. I think maybe a Summerween book too. I feel like it's like perfect for people who are into Spooktober and Summerween. It's so messed up. It's good. I thought that this was really good actually, but it is very intense. And the timeline, I thought the timeline would be very different than what the timeline actually is. I enjoyed all the different points of view from the characters. I think there was definitely a main group or a specific main character that we kept coming back to. We came back to a lot of them, but this was like the main character. From beginning to end, this book was so good. I was hooked. I don't know what I was originally thinking when I first started reading it. I didn't think I was going to be super interested, and then I got really invested. And that feeling stayed with me the whole book. It was hard to put it down. And I had to write this down. I wrote a note because I wanted to remember a specific thing that was said. There was a lot of funny stuff towards the end that happened. But something stuck with me. Just the impact that the dome had on the town was so significant that it affected it so much. Honestly, it was such a good read. 10 out of 10. Maybe like a 4.5 out of 5. Maybe, I don't want to say a 5 out of 5. I give it like a 4 out of 5. Maybe a 9.5 out of 10. Good plot, twists, characters that you love to hate. I love having a character that we can hate, and we had multiple made to hate to love characters. A smidgen of a love story in there, kind of, but not really. But, under pressure love stories. And then towards the end, we get points of view that we did not get the entire story, and yet it still impacted you. So I think that's pretty good writing. All in all, for this being my first Stephen King book, I thought this was a pretty good book. So if you're into thriller, thriller. I don't know if this is really a thriller. I thought it was kind of a thriller because I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. But definitely mystery, action, drama, small town drama, and building that relationship between each of the characters. What I really love is we get a map. We get a map of the town. I thought that was really cool. And not only that, we get pages of characters that were introduced to or that were mentioned without getting their points of view. I just love the way that this book made me care for some of these people. And even the characters that were awful, you get to see behind the scenes and it's like, dang, I see why you're awful, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't like you. Under the Dome. It is definitely something. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you read this book? Were you planning to read this book? If it's on your TBR, I think that you should definitely give it a go. Alright, you guys, I will see you in the next one. Toodles! Ah.